Welcome to Pull the Pin Radio, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions of the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
But we promise we're going to enjoy giving them to you.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Mike. Let's pull the pin.
You sound so tired, Mike. What do you...
I know. I had to do that for you,
man. A lot of effort to pull the pin, right?
Yeah, I had to do that for you, man. So, oh boy.
Lots of stuff we missed.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
I always thought it was relatively quiet in the news.
Really?
Yeah. Relatively.
I think there's a couple of shootings and beatings and things like that. They were all over the news.
Oh. That was normal. That's normal American. That's like every day in America.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. But not to get on a topic that I hate to discuss these days. Somebody has sent me a link saying that the Biden administration is saying they're trying to institute or implement a zero tolerance for gun dealers to show that they're against the gun violence in America.
Right. So because all the dealers are shooting people? What?
Yeah. Well, they're selling. Well, if you talk about yes, the dealers are directly involved in people who receive their guns illegally, perhaps, from other people who may have purchased their guns legally from said dealer.
Right. So in other words, if they didn't make the guns, there wouldn't be any.
Yeah, so they nexus to the manufacturers.
Right, or if people didn't have babies, we wouldn't have criminals.
Well, damn. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, maybe there should be a law. Like, nobody should be allowed to make babies.
Or, let's just go with that. I'm not even going to stretch that one out.
Well,
let's just go with that one, man.
We are getting to the point where they are going to be able to pick and choose who can have babies.
Like they do in other countries.
Yes, you're gonna start seeing people on the left siding with the right and the right siding with the left over some of these things because they're gonna twist them so far.
Maybe they'll change back to the way it once was.
Right, and call it something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of word games here going on around. So gun control now is the responsibility of the gun dealers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the manufacturers,
gun dealer. No, not yet. They're coming next. They're on the list. They're after the dealers.
So the dealers. So as long as we sell them right out of the manufacturing warehouses, no crime could happen.
Well, manufacturer is not a dealer.
Right. Well, they could be one and the same, right? They could also be both.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, and right now, You know what I think? I think this is a good idea because if it's as effective. Wow, that was a tongue twister. If it's as effective as the war on drugs, I think we'll have no problems. Yeah.
So are you saying that the war on drugs is effective?
No, that's what I'm talking about. I'm a Second Amendment supporter, so I'm not worried.
You kind of threw me for a loop there.
Yeah, I'm not worried because we go after them dealers, right? What does that do?
Well, this I forgot what they call it. This Stop the Violence bill, I guess. It's targeting those federally licensed firearms dealers who you can say sell weapons to people who they know are not allowed to carry it per the ATF or whoever.
Isn't that already illegal?
Yeah.
Do we need a new bill to reaffirm that?
Yes.
Okay. So what about the government? Are they exempt from this? Like, can they sell things to Mexicans and then try to track them?
No. Yes, they're exempt. No, we don't do that. But if we did, they're exempt.
Right. We do that, but we're allowed to do that because they're not...
we've never done that before, first and foremost.
Right, okay.
But if we were to do that, then we would have to be exempt.
Ah, okay, because the bill doesn't apply to the people who write it. I'm starting to get this whole politics thing.
It applies to all Americans, but not those Americans who write it.
Right. I'm totally getting this politic thing down. I'm so glad that I asked a libertarian to join me because I have been just like listening to talking points, just talking points. Never understand what I'm hearing, and just like But thank you, man. Thanks for the explanation.
I am here for you.
I appreciate it because I would have never known that number one, dealers are the one causing the violence, and that politicians are exempt.
Yes. Well, yeah, dealers cause the violence because they traffic the weapons to those who
Oh.
commit the crimes.
So a dealer is a trafficker. Does that count as casinos too? Are they like
Yes.
card
No.
traffickers
No.
or?
They're not. Casinos are not traffickers because they're not moving.
But the dealers in the casinos are.
Right. Right. So that's kind of like they're trafficking and gambling. Traffic
Yes,
moving.
I'm totally
Is that
getting
a
this
moving
whole.
violation? I'm confused.
Well, yes, of course, because cards and chips are always moving, right? Money's moving.
Yeah. So that's
Money's moving into the casino.
is that a DA form 1805?
I don't
Sorry.
know, but this government stuff is starting to make a lot of sense to me now.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is. And you know what I find interesting too is we just had that big awesome holiday, right? Juneteenth you talk about? I don't
Some
know
of
if you
us
saw.
did. Yeah.
Well, and you got me on board with it. I don't know. There's some argument about whether it should be federal or not, which whatever, who cares? It's federal, call it a day. 44 paid vacation days for those guys who are exempt. But
Yeah.
they just had. I saw an article or heard about an article about they had 6 mass shootings. Like, I'm surprised it's not big news because it was 6 mass shootings on that day or something.
Yeah. I probably read a different article. It's just talking about some shootings on that day, and it made me chuckle
Right, right. So, well, it
because
was normal. It's normal, right? It's normal for Chicago, right? This is normal. It's mass shooting
yeah,
a day, whatever. But it's funny how when the gun stuff is coming up again, it's called a mass shooting.
yeah, yeah.
It's not gang violence. It's none of
Oh
those
yeah,
problems. It's
yeah,
mass shootings.
yeah. It's
'Cause-
going away. Well, depending on who the perp is, that'll decide whether they have a mental condition or not.
oh, wait. Hold on, Mike. Stop bringing in other factors here. I don't want to hear this mental thing. You're going to throw me completely off because most of our government is mental. So I don't know where that fits in the equation.
Most. I
I don't
can
want to say
uh,
all. There could be somebody who accidentally, was looking for a different job and ended up in the government. Like, what
show
the hell
me.
happened?
Show me one. Show me one
Well,
person.
hey,
I mean,
let's
being
our
honest, I used to
government.
say the same thing about police officers. I had to give a speech when we graduated the academy because I was, what do they call it, president of the class, whatever. And I had to give a speech, and I say, hey, let's face it, we're all nut jobs. Who in their right mind is going to decide to go towards the gunfire? You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. You can make
We're
the
sick.
argument.
You know what I mean? We are sick. We are a sick bunch of people. And I said it in jest. Everyone, of course, it was all law enforcement or law enforcement family there, so everyone got the joke. But yeah, and there's a lot of truth to it. You have to be
Sure.
a certain type person to want to get into that field.
Right.
So I say the same thing about politics. Yeah, and I'm gonna go with sick. You have to be
Yeah.
some level. There's some level of sickness that you must have in your head to want to get in that field, but somebody has to do it.
Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I really hate to compare a police officer with a politician.
No, 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 no. I'm not. There's no comparison there. No,
Okay.
no.
Because
Because
I
I
think.
would make there's a lot of police officers or law enforcement people I would make politicians before I would even make a politician a law enforcement official. Get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because the foundation's a little more firm.
yeah,
Even though they may
exactly.
be a little crazy,
Yeah,
they're not crazy and greedy.
and I'll go on record to say it's mainly because I understand that type of crazy. Yeah,
Mm, right. So,
yeah,
so is this a bill you're saying?
yeah. Bill something. Yeah,
Well, I mean, if it's a bill, did anybody read it yet?
yeah. They all read it. They probably voted on it too already.
Okay, they voted on it, and I don't know. I didn't see it yet, so I can't talk about it. But did anything stand out, like what it's going to actually do, or is it a lot of just shame on you? We're going
No,
to
the
now
one thing that
declare it.
did stand out, and it's another part that I laughed about, was what I just said earlier. It's aimed at those federal licensed federal dealers who willfully sell weapons to people who are prohibited to have them. And that, how do you know? Because they must have had a name check or something with the ATF. So they sold. It's like if I sell you a weapon, everyone knows you're a wanted criminal, right? Per the
Right.
ATF or some name check, a simple name check. But I go ahead and sell you the weapon anyway. So that's who the people that they're really targeting.
Did they give any statistics? Any
I didn't read any. No.
like? I mean, is this a big problem?
Yeah. It's. I mean, come on. It's like a surge in a violent crime that's
Right, right,
involving
right,
guns out there, man.
Look, I'm not doubting your statistics or CNN news,
I
wherever
didn't
you're
cite
getting it
not
from.
one, but
I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying that is it from dealers that these guns are gotten from?
yeah,
And we know this.
yes.
Oh, of course. All
Show
right.
me a gun that did not come from a dealer.
That's a good point. Well, maybe the manufacturer could actually. Yeah.
That's the
Okay, I got
catch-all,
it.
you know.
Yeah. Even if
some
it went
point,
through
it can't-
3 different parties.
Exactly.
So even if it went to the military, like a 9mm or even the old 45s,
Right.
so the dealer sold it to the military used it for 10, 15 years, and then they sold them all on auction, and then they sold them to citizens, and then those citizens got them stolen by criminals, and then those criminals sold them to other criminals to commit a crime. It's the dealer's fault.
That's right.
Got it. I get it.
I stand behind it 100%.
I totally get it. Like, so
Yes,
the
I
next
do.
time I'm wiping my
Like
butt
mine? Yeah.
and my finger slips through the toilet paper, I'm going after the manufacturers.
You back on that again. I like the way you just brought that in there. You just slid it right in there. Literally slid it right in there.
Right? Why not? Why not? Like
Jesus.
car accidents, let's blame the manufacturers, or not even
Hey.
the car dealers. Let's not even go to the manufacturers.
All
They
right,
did a
I'm
good
done.
job.
I'm done. Hey, I got to put out an APB.
Uh-oh.
All points bulletin. Paul, Derek, Tone, Phil, Big Country, Tim, all of you, get back on the show, please. I can't take this anymore.
So I thought you were missing them, but apparently you're just yeah.
Yeah, just gotta get them back on. You and your bathroom. Good Lord, man.
You know what's interesting too? You remember I did a couple episodes. I did a shout out to somebody who was commenting on our YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah. I'm not even going to mention the name again because apparently after you shout people out, they disappear. So I'm like, was that you, Mike? Did you have an alt account? And
Wasn't that Lily?
Lilith R or something. Yeah.
something
I shouted out, I think, on 2 different episodes, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a comment since. We are getting some comments on Rumble. There's a couple people on there. I could save them for the shout outs, or I could just not do it because they'll probably disappear too.
Yeah, don't do it. I haven't seen one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, I want to see people getting involved. So, I wanted to shout them out, but hey, sorry. Maybe there's a bill against it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe shout outs are the same thing as shot out. No. All right, never mind. No. So what I'd like to see, though, I'd like to see the politicians have to do the trial runs of all bills. You know what I mean? Like trial runs of all bills where pretty much they're not allowed to have any security for 2 months, 3 months. Because the dealers sold the weapons to the government, too. Yeah. So who knows what government agency, right? So the government buys them as a person, right? One person signs for all these weapons, and then they issue them to all these people. So how does the dealer know that they're going to the right people after he sells them to the government agent who signs for them all?
I don't know, but it's the dealer's fault.
Yeah, of course it's the dealer's fault, right? Yeah. Obviously. He's the one that went and got them from the manufacturer.
Right.
Right. So I'm sure this will end all the dealers and we'll go right to manufacturers now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I say blame the dealers, man.
Well, in all fairness, in reality, like we joked earlier, yeah, if the dealers selling guns to people who aren't supposed to own them, yeah, shame on you. There's a crime for that, right? There's a law for that.
Yeah, they're breaking the law already. So
yeah,
it's like we said, or what are we doing here?
Right.
Enforce the laws that are already there, and we wouldn't have to waste time doing these type things.
So you think this is just posturing then? Like, let's be serious. Like, let's be real. Like,
yes.
It's almost like, yeah, like, okay, we're against gun violence. We're going to reiterate the law that exists that we haven't been enforcing. Like,
Okay, let's really look at this. I already mentioned how they're coming up with some type of stimulus, right,
mm-hmm.
for police departments to help with the shortages that they have due to a lot of police officers resigning, right? So now police departments might hire or give raises to individual officers, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna hire, give raises, whatever, beat them back up. So what's that gonna do? Lessen the crime,
Of course, right.
right? So
Yeah.
now at the same time, hey, we implemented this bill, and that lowered the crime. Hey, look at the stats. It
Mm.
worked.
Wow.
So when you ask, are they posturing? They're always posturing. That's what I always say. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's almost like it's almost like they're kids. They're kids with the trend of the month or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're just like, oh, let's talk about this. Let's introduce this. It already exists.
Yes.
Like we had the hate crime thing. We don't want to rehash that a million times, but
Right.
the crime already exists. Tagging hate on it,
Right.
duh. Like, so they're just trying to act like they're doing something, and they're really
Right.
not. And it's really just sad because the people that suffer, probably the dealers now. Dealers are going to probably get a lot of flack when they're not even breaking the law
Well, technically, they're always breaking the law.
because of the bill,
Yeah.
but not before the bill. Before they were selling to legitimate people, they weren't breaking the law.
Yeah, they sold to, in the example that you used, they sold to a legitimate person who sold it to a legitimate person who may have had it stolen by a criminal, and they had it stolen by another criminal, and they use it in a violent crime. It's the dealer's fault.
I would be curious. I mean, I'm sure they're able to track it because they got serial numbers, unless they're
Yeah.
obviously scratched off. But I would be curious to see those stats. Maybe I'd go hunt them down. Like the crimes, the guns used in a lot of these crimes. You know, when there's a big mass murder, they kind of give a little bit of that out. Oh, that was taken from his father or whatever. You know, I would be really curious to what percentage of these gun crimes were actually by people who purchased them.
For the people who were caught, and this is just me, okay? I didn't read this anywhere or hear anyone say it, but when the last four that I can remember mass shootings, they were all legal, or like you said, like my son went in and somehow stole my legally registered firearm and used it in a violent way.
All right, so let's
You get what I'm
clarify this.
saying?
Yeah, let's clarify this first. By mass shooting, you mean legitimate mass shooting, not
Yes.
like some gang violence that we're
Right,
labeling
right,
mass shooting so we
right.
can pass a gun bill.
Like the guy, where was that when he was in the hotel room shooting down at this concert?
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. I know
like
what you're
that.
talking- was that Nashville?
No, I don't think. I
Oh
think
no,
it's
Vegas.
Vegas. Thank
Vegas,
you.
I think. Yeah. Well, no. So that's what I'm saying. So how many of those really like? So I get it. All right, if we want to put the label on the thing, so the legitimate mass shootings where there's some probably a white dude angry at the world, it's a legitimate purchase, right? Because it's
Right.
probably a one-off, right? It's probably somebody who wasn't committing crimes, was able to purchase a gun, and then just
Right.
lost it. So
Yeah,
we
you
can
want to know.
understand.
Right, you want to know how you can figure that out
How's
like
that?
that when they don't mention it, Jim.
Of course, right?
You
Of
know what I
course.
mean?
Yeah.
When it's not mentioned in the story or whatever, that means he legally owned, or that person legally owned the firearm.
Right.
So that's not a story. That's not doesn't support the narrative. So let's not even mention anything about
Right.
that.
So I'm just trying to, I mean, maybe call it a stereotype, whatever you want to call it. I'm just trying to put the stereotype to the types of crimes just in a generalization, right?
Yeah.
I don't have the statistics. So we could probably agree that all of the one-off weirdos that have had no problems with gun violence before probably bought their weapons or got them from someone legally and then just used them and went and did it, right?
Yeah.
So what about all the other gun crimes? Well, let's do another one. Let's remove the suicides because those are gun violence, right? That's
Yep.
probably in the statistics when they need the numbers high.
Mm-hmm.
So let's remove all those too because those could probably be purchases too, right?
Yes.
But they're not technically. I don't know if they're. Well, I guess you could say they're used in a crime, but I don't know if suicide should really be a crime. That's another debate we could have if you're on the other side of that. I don't know, but my body, my choice, right? No matter what I put in it, whether it's a male genitalia or a bullet, right? Shouldn't it matter? Like,
But what is the purpose of the U.S. government or government? Is it to protect you, even
from
from
yourself.
yourself?
Right, right, right. The problem is maybe I don't think I need protecting.
No, you don't think, but we as the government know.
Oh, forgot that. Right, forgot
That's the
that
best
part.
I
Right.
have, Jim. Don't go anywhere.
No, no, you got it. Forgive me. Forgive me. Let me rescind all comments before, or all comments after. Welcome to Pull the Pin Already. So I'm really like, so really, what is the bulk of the problem? Like, I mean, like, if we really want to look at the government, like, government's not in it to solve problems. We already know that, right? Or that's my assumption, or that's my interpretation of it. They're not really in it to solve problems. They're in it to make you think they're doing something so they keep their jobs, right?
Yes.
If they were in it to solve the problem, like, what would be the problem with the gun violence? And I mean as a whole. I'm not talking about the one-off mass shooters and.
I think we've said this before. When someone, when someone uses the firearm in the capacity of what we're referencing, it's a mental condition, mental health.
Sure, and that could range. That can range from a diagnosed mental health to a depression that nobody even can diagnose. Right.
Right.
Just a loss,
and
lack of hope.
Then you enforce the laws, like we just said earlier. Enforce the laws you already have with the illegal purchasing, selling of firearms.
Right.
You know.
So why isn't this money and this effort going into mental health?
Are you crazy?
Yeah, of course. That's why I want the funding.
Yeah.
Hello.
No, I mean, why do we put more? Well, that's not going to show anything. You know, if they really put it into mental health, trying to really solve the issue from these two vets' perspective, then that's not going to solve anything, because people will have to want to get help, or people like I'm going to have to be willing to tell on Jim to get him the help that he desperately needs before he goes out there and commits a crime. You get what I'm saying?
But why can't the government do that? Why can't they decide that you need help rather than you don't need a gun?
You need that instant results, man, because we got election year coming. You know, or if it's not coming next year, it's going to be definitely the year after. So,
and we know for a fact if you bumped up mental health and gun crimes went down, if crime went down, they wouldn't know what to contribute it to.
Exactly.
They wouldn't say, "Oh, we spent a whole lot on mental health, so look, crimes are down, people are happy." They wouldn't know what to contribute it to.
And I would say half, but probably more. 75% of the population would call BS on it anyway. So why would they spend money? They have to give the public something they can see. Yeah. You know, a bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
some stats.
True.
Yeah.
So then here's the question. So if the dealer's a criminal, right, and he's selling to people illegally, what's the bill going to do?
Stop them from selling guns illegally.
Oh, so now that there's a law or another law on top of the law, it's going to stop him.
Yes.
Oh, all right, I get it. So it's almost like the second law is more effective than the first law.
That's right. Harsher penalties.
Isn't there a three law rule or something? Isn't everything have to come in threes? Like you don't have to listen to a law until it's passed the third time?
No, that's not it. It's really not effective until it's passed the third time. Yeah.
So let me ask a serious question. Let me seriously go this. So who is this law for? Which racial, ethnicity, or gender? Like who is this law for?
It's not for no. It's just for the dealers.
Oh, it doesn't matter what color or gender or any of that.
No, I mean,
really? So for all of them,
I read it in its entirety. There's a little fine print down there that mentions, hey, due to not having results right now, we're really focused on the white guy. But until we have statistics to back it up, this is for everyone.
So is there any white privilege exemptions?
Only if you're a politician.
Oh, I got it. Because I mean, as a white privileged male in the patriarch, I don't understand how this stuff applies to me. Like I think I'm in charge here, right? But I'm in charge. Well, I could be a dealer. I mean, I can, I don't know. I could. I mean, I
Jim,
can identify as a dealer,
listen,
right?
I didn't want to mention race, but since you brought it up, let's be honest, okay? You can be a dealer and you can get caught selling really,
I,
dealer.
I, I think, yeah, he's calling
Somebody's
BS on
walking.
you already.
Yeah,
Calling
he
BS
is.
on you.
Jim, go away, go away. Hey, stop. Gee. But you can be a dealer and go sell illegally to a person who's prohibited from possessing a firearm, and then all you have to do with with your privilege is, hey, it was him, and they'll come and get
Mm.
me and arrest me.
Yeah, I do that anyway.
The timing was off on that because well, we were just
No, the
interrupted.
time is good, dude. I do that anyway. Like anything wrong with this show, I get any bad comments, it's always Mike's fault. I'm like, you see who I have
That's
to
true.
work with?
That's
Like,
that's why I always get the hate mail.
yes, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so I'm just curious where this is going to go with this bill, or if it's just posturing, like we said, if it really matters. I mean, I don't
Do
know.
you
It's
think it's
just,
posturing?
yeah. I mean, if it's already a law, like what's the purpose of it? Like,
So
how
we
many times do
agree.
we have to do this?
Yeah, we agree.
It's almost like I saw in the news, which I don't want to spoil, but I saw something with an NFL player coming out of the closet. Like that's old school. Like what? Who cares?
It is old school.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah. People have been coming out the closet in parades. Like they don't need
Yeah,
an announcement. Like,
not in professional sports though.
oh really?
Not in American professional sports.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Celebrities been doing it all over.
Not in American professional sports.
All right, whatever.
No, I'm being
Yeah,
serious. That's. Listen, I'm not saying it's newsworthy. I'm just saying that's the difference. So they have to have something. If he
yeah.
was just an actor or actress or whatever, it wouldn't be newsworthy. Because,
Oh,
like you
so
said, it
okay,
comes out. That's like once a week. You know what I mean? But now it's an
right.
athlete. Whoa, clickbait. Let's get him.
Oh, so if
Yeah,
it was like a forklift operator, nobody'd give a damn.
Paul, Derek, Tone, Bill, Big Country, Tim, Sean, Nate. Where you at?
I'm surprised you can memorize all that many names. Well, you're probably written on your screen right there, right?
Yes, it is. Got a little post-it note right there.
Awesome, awesome. So the bill's dumb. We already know it's dumb.
Yeah.
You said they probably voted on it already. You think it's gonna pass?
No, I was just joking about that, but
Oh,
it'll probably go down to the House or whatever.
so
Yeah.
we're saying it was introduced by the Biden administration or the
Yes.
Democrats or whatever. And
No, Biden administration specifically.
oh, okay. So aren't they Democrats?
Yeah, but
Well, I
Paul,
don't know. Like, dude, you act like Biden's actually making decisions. So who is the Biden administration? Is that Kamala? Is that Pelosi? Is
you
it
guys killing
George
me with that.
Soros? Like this guy? I don't know who is running
You guys
the.
are killing me with that, man. He is making the decisions.
Oh, he is. Was that like
Yes,
a
he.
flip of a coin, or does he have one of those magic 8 balls? Biden, should we do this? I look good right now. Like, is that what he does? And he probably is not shaking it by. He's probably just got the Parkinson, whatever that thing is. He's just getting old. He's shaking. Yeah, they're like, okay, no, you already answered. You already answered one time. One time. Yeah,
I
the
can't.
magic 8 ball. All right, well, we can definitely pull a pin on this because I don't know where it's going to go either. I think it's silly. I think I'm tired of bills being. Somebody's wasting paper too. Isn't there a government waste department we could call?
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, fraud, waste, and abuse, right?
yeah, let's call these people. Like, who
Yeah.
wasted their time writing this?
Yeah.
Like, who? Was this like a school assignment for somebody? You know, hey, like
Political
kindergarten.
posturing at its best.
Yeah, let's get the kindergartners to write us a bill so we can look like we're doing something for gun violence.
Yeah.
You know, forget about the criminals, the crime, the gangs, and all the illegal things. Let's go after somebody. Oh my God. Anyways, let's pull a pin on that. Let's go to our favorite
Bullet.
segment, the namesake of the show. Pull the pin already, where we can put somebody in the dog. I don't know. I'm even talking old shows now. Like, gosh. Yeah, I'm like going way back. Let's pull a pin on, or you know what the hell to do. Just pick something.
I'm not gonna say anything till you say it right. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Pull the pin on something, a person of the week, or just a shout out. Just go.
Person of the week. Ooh. I will say it's going to be people of the week. My people of the week is going to be that crazy and loving family I call the in-laws. Ooh wee. They were here this past, some of them past week, some of them past weekend, whatever. And they really showed out. You remember last time I said, hey, I had to go help and get prepped. But they really showed out, had a good time, and you met the mother-in-law, you know, on a couple
I think
shows.
our loyal audience met the
Yeah, loyal.
mother-in-law.
Yeah. They met them. They met her also. But no, we had a good time, and that would be my people of the week. And I would say I was a little apprehensive, if you will, about throwing a little party. If it's not, it was supposed to be a small get together, but if you knew Alicia the way I know her, nothing small. But anyway, they came out, they showed out, and we had a good time with no drama. That's gonna be my people of the week.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's going to be hard to follow, Mike, because
No, it's
I know
not. Just go
family
for it.
is
Oh God, just go for it.
is important. And speaking of family and closeness, like sharing, I'm going to go to another place where I've been before, and that's in the restrooms, right? So, I always evaluate people's restrooms, but I went to a coffee shop, right? And this is a coffee shop. There's two bathrooms. One's out of order, right? So the other one's the only one everybody gets to use, right? And I don't know why, for the life of me, there isn't something on the wall or in the ceiling that sprays air freshener. But if you're in a coffee shop where people eat and drink coffee, and I drop a deuce, I don't really want people walking in behind me because they probably were trying to eat or something. There needs to be some sort of air freshener in there.
Yeah.
I think you're going to chase off business if people open that door and be like, holy cow. But I couldn't help myself, so it had to happen. So shame on you. Get some air freshener. And we will join you guys next week. And hopefully you get on the show, get involved. And until then, Godspeed.
Pull the pin. Pull the pin.
Thanks for joining us here. Pull the pin already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.